Yo, good morning and welcome to Minted Mornings, your first look at what's happening on the blockchain. Listen like EST. Join myself and Franklin as we look at the latest news in the space, the biggest winners, and where you can make money in Web3. Remember to do your own research as nothing shared is financial advice. Franklin, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Good morning, man. Doing well, but still got a bit of a sore throat. I can't believe I'm still struggling, like after just drinking one
Damn.
day last week. Honestly, it's absolutely killing me, but I'm all right.
Oh, mate, that's a killer. I mean, that's like what, 4 or 5 days now you're hanging?
Yeah, it was Friday. What day is it today? Wednesday already. Honestly, my throat is just absolutely yeah. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just getting old, man.
That's how we know
Getting
you're coming up
old.
to the wrong side of 30.
Yeah, I know it's not too long there either. One
Yeah,
more month.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. Appreciate. When's your birthday again? June the 7th, 11th,
Fourth,
4th,
fourth. Yeah.
4th of June. All right. So we'll be celebrating a good with them, basically. Yeah.
No, that's why we're doing Goodwood. This is my birthday party from
Oh,
Sammy.
literally, just purely just that. No other reason.
Yeah, that's it. It's like, right, Frank needs a birthday party. What can we do? Let's give him 3 weekends. And I was like, "Oh, guys,
Yeah.
don't," But all right.
Well, the reason why they're a week apart is it gives you a week to recover from your hangover, and then you go again. Then you got another week because obviously that's your turnaround now, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. No, man, I've not even thought about that, to be honest. I'm gonna be absolutely hanging for 3 weeks. Holy
That is.
shit.
But welcome to the show, everyone. We're going to be covering lots today with Moonbirds, Rollbear, Azuki's new anime series, and CZ getting time and discussing his life after prison. So if you haven't already, drop us a GM, a repost in the bottom right-hand corner, and let's get into. I don't know if you've seen these crypto prices, Franklin, but it's looking shocking. What have you had a look yet?
Well, yeah, it was going down all day yesterday as well, right? So it's not ideal, but I mean, we've been going up for so long. One retracement is, yeah, we've been here before. It's not that scary. I'm getting Ethereum cheaper now, so it's what I've been wanting for a little while. I'll take it. I'll take it. But yeah,
Uh,
honestly, it's not really looking great. When kind of the next support for Bitcoin looks probably around 52K,
yeah,
57.
we have had that conversation at 52 52k BTC. Let's run through some of the prices. Let's have a look at the crypto bubbles, and then let's see the impact on. I actually want to have a look at some ETH prices, NFT prices as well. Obviously, we're going to be discussing Moonbirds. We're going to be looking at Azuki. So I think it's only right we get a little market update on where ETH NFTs are, if anyone actually remembers those. But Bitcoin's price this morning is at $57,000 down 9.6% in the last 24 hours. ETH also down 9.5% at $2,858. BNB is at $544. Even BNB did not survive, down 9%. Solana down 11.2%. Gosh, at $120. This is where I bought my bag last time, or my second bag. So this is now getting really interesting for me. XRP, should we even mention XRP? Nothing happens with it. Nothing's going to happen with it. 4% down at 48 cents. Ton even 11% down. Cardano 5% down. I mean, on the week, we've got the biggest loser at Solana at 24%, and then Doge followed by 23%. massive drop for Sol on the week. 25%, just shy of 25%. Um, is a retracement is an understatement there. Even Avalanche down 28%. So yeah, definitely a big drop, a cooling off, which I mean some people suspected obviously post halving. 25% on some of the lower cap coins. Maybe I didn't expect that much, but we're looking at 14% on BTC, 12% on ETH. So considerably higher than I think most people thought.
Yeah, no, if Bitcoin goes to 52, alts are gonna get absolutely smashed to bits. Like they'll
Smashed to
be
bits, yeah.
retracing like hard. Yeah, it'll be ridiculous. So yeah, LRG will be leaving Solana and come back to Ethereum around then, I think.
100%. A Solana fanboy in his bio as well. Love it.
Solana back to $8, so we'll stack that this time.
Oh my god, 100%. Then we're stuck. What
Yeah.
would be your all-in price would you go in at? What would it need to be at where it wouldn't be scary? Like obviously $8, everyone will panic. But like where would it need to be? Like anything under $100, right?
What is an entry on Solana?
As in for
Oh,
you, if you were gonna pack your Solana bags again.
what, as in everything I own into Solana? Premise is better, bro. What are
Ye
you talking about? What's going on? I'm like,
I'm
what do you
just
mean?
wondering.
You were like all
ETH
in.
is
I'm
at
like,
100
yeah,
no, so ETH is at $120. Sorry, Solana's at
yeah,
$120 right now. What would it need
yeah.
to drop for you to pack your Solana bag again?
Um, I mean, honestly, we started buying at like 160, right? So we were, yeah. I mean,
In the
we
high
started getting
meme
some of
coin
them.
season.
Yeah, we needed it anyway, but we had to play around with it. And yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at the prices this morning as well. It's hard to tell without looking at obviously Bitcoin and looking at where we are at the moment at 57. I'm gonna actually get on the charts today because I've really not checked any sort of prices apart from just meme coins for the last couple of months. A bit out of the loop to be completely honest, but yeah, alts look to be getting absolutely drained at the moment. Solana at $120. So for me to go all in is probably any price because I think it's just the time. Like I said yesterday or on Monday, potentially, I think it was. Like all these pullbacks are going to happen. We're going to see it leading up to up to and through the next bull market, and I think it's just going to be a time where you're not going to get shaken out by the whales and just keep stacking and averaging out your bags. That's the only way I think.
Yeah, let's have a look on the 30 days. So on the monthly, I'm looking at a couple of these now. So Sol is down 39.9%. I mean, we've got some interesting ones here that we're doing really well. Beam down 35%, Flow down 39%. This is crazy. Like on the month, it really gives some perspective. Obviously, we look at this on the daily. INJ at 38%, definitely another entry for INJ, I think. I'm definitely gonna be packing my INJ bag. Same with Tau as well. I mean, if you're looking at packing your TIA as well, 36%. If you're looking at packing your altcoin bags, now's the time to do it because I don't think they're gonna be, you know, around these prices 6 months from now, 12 months from now. So definitely an interesting time to be looking at what you want to pack in terms of alts.
Yeah, they might be a lot cheaper.
Well, imagine now they go down another 30%. What to nothing, yeah?
Don't it? It was just getting fun and exciting. But this is
Yeah.
sorry, go on. This is just a part of it. It is what it is what happens.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's just part and parcel. I think these drops don't really scare us anymore. It's interesting and fun to talk about them and comment on them, but like, I mean, it doesn't really mean anything in terms of the grand scheme of our overall vision of where this is all going. So yeah, not that deep. Interesting either way, though. I thought it'd be good to just share it. Uniswap down
What's
48%.
that one there that's red that's green by itself? What does it say?
Yeah, so I was gonna go to those. There's two. One is WBT, white Bitcoin. Never heard of it, but 874 million market cap, up 42 and 86th rank, and 11 million in 24-hour volume. I don't know who's trading this, man, but it's active. And then we've got one other one. I think there was one other green, but it's gone into. Oh, there we go. BGB up 5%.
Oh, it was another green, but it's gone up into red now.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
doesn't look
Up
great, but
100
yeah,
on the, yeah. I mean,
pullbacks
yeah. Look,
happen.
yeah, either way, it's still exciting and fun to have a look at where the prices are, what's actually happening.
At
Year to
least we're
date,
not sat at
still
30K
green.
Bitcoin.
Still good. Yeah, there we go. I was about to say year to date up 98% Bitcoin, 52% ETH. It's a very different scenario to where we were this time last year. But yeah, either way, still interesting. Let's head into the NFT on-chain metrics. We haven't done those in ages. Let's have a look at some floor prices on ETH, which we also haven't done in ages as well.
Yeah, we actually haven't. But yeah, what do you want to start with, Azuki, or do we want to go into Moonbirds, or just a general update to start off with? What we do? What's
I think
happening?
let's do a general update because we haven't really had a look at any of the collections other than basically which we discussed a couple of days ago. I think let's
Yeah,
get at what's happening across the board, and then we'll have a look at the Azuki and Moonbirds, which is obviously the major news for today.
yeah, sounds good. So last 24-hour volume, basically, are actually back at the top. 1.6 million in volume. Azuki in second place. They haven't been in the volume rankings for so long. Azuki, like obviously, it's been a long time since I've even
Are you,
seen
are you
them
looking at last
close.
24 hours? Sorry.
Last 24 hours, yeah, 1.5 million in the last 24 hours. Then we got Mutants in third. They're up at 2.5 ETH this morning as well. Obviously, we'd seen them drop to like 1.3. You convinced me not to buy, and I didn't. I wish I did now. CryptoPunks 36, which is getting even lower, right? Like we said when I crossed 40, it was pretty wild. And now they're at 36, and Ethereum is at like 2,800. So I'm expecting some buys to start coming in through some of these collections pretty soon. Because yeah, not only is the token price coming down, but the floor prices are still breaking below their lows as well on some of these collections, which is pretty crazy. Just in this downtrend.
As in,
Azuki Beans.
it's the perfect mix, right? We've had high ETH price, low floor price. We've had low floor price, high ETH price. Now they're both dropping. This is really the optimal time to enter on anything, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And apologies for anyone just joining us this morning. My chest is like properly killing me, and my throat is due. Like, yeah, I know I'm struggling to read some of this, but Beans official, they're at 0.3. They're actually up like quite considerably, $391,000, which is one of the highest I think volumes we've seen on them for a little while. They haven't been really trending too much. We got Captain's Moonbirds now at 0.69. They've had a bit of a pump in the last couple of days. We'll go through it later in the show, but yeah, across the board, there's not really too much moving, to be honest. And even when I have been seeing collections start to move, generally within a couple of hours or within 24 hours maximum, like they've already retraced back to kind of where they were before they had a little bit of a pump. It just seems like everyone in these collections at the moment is selling out these they're just selling the announcements, and it's opportunity to exit for most of the parts. I think it's happening a lot.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm seeing that. I'm having a look at some of these sales as well. Just in terms of numbers, Azuki, like we mentioned, up 133 sales in the last 24 hours. So there is that shakedown, but there are still a fair number of purchases as well. 287 on elementals. I think this announcement or this episode one, which we're going to be taking a look at, definitely had a positive impact on floor prices across all three collections, across sentiment. The timeline's a lot more excited as well. So yeah, I think it's not a Luca event where it's like, oh my god, he's bringing back NFTs, but it's still a positive event for the holders.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, completely agree. But even then, though, like we're seeing all the volume, we're seeing the sales, we're seeing how many are listed. 2.8% on Azuki at the moment. They're up 3.4% on the day. 5.1 ETH floor price and 700 ETH in volume. Like we're seeing the chart and we're seeing the pump, we're seeing the sales come in, but it just seems like there's so many people ready and willing to list at these prices. There's just no consistency to many floor prices at all. They're just kind of holding and dipping. There's no movement to the upside. I think there's just still with this a bit of a time like aspect. But what one thing I would say about Azuki that I actually like is that they've not waited to release this. They've just kind of pushed it and put it out. And obviously before they'd done didn't work with elementals, and kind of the bear market was completely timed wrong. And I think it's put them off for like quite some time to even be releasing something. That a lot of collections have felt the same, I think. But yeah, just to get this episode one out now and be still like kind of moving forward, I think is pretty good.
Yeah, just in terms of those numbers of listed, I think people have been in a situation over the last 3 months where they've wanted to be liquid and they've held on these ETH NFTs. And I think the first opportunity that they've had to sell them at these higher prices, seems like a good idea. Obviously, we know ETH NFTs aren't that exciting at the moment. We know the liquidity and the attention isn't there, barring these very few small collections and these really big sales that were happening, the notable sales. Other than that, it doesn't really make sense if you need that money to have it in an ETH NFT right now. So I'm not surprised in the sense that with everything that's happened with meme coin seasons and where we're positioning now, maybe people want to get a little bit more liquid and buy some of these alts at much cheaper prices, 40% down in the month, for example. It kind of makes sense. So the first opportunity they get that little pump, they sell it. That allows them to be a little bit more liquid and then be prepared for the next run that happens, just in case they weren't. I mean, we take it for granted because we have ETH NFTs and we're liquid as well, but not everyone's playing with all of their funds or has access to that amount of funds where they can do both. And in which case, if you have to do both, then you have to pick, and it makes sense why they'd be picking to exit ETH NFT so that they could be liquid.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with like the opportunities that have been going on in Solana as well over the last couple of weeks. I think ETH NFTs have left a lot of. I think like NFTs in general have left just people illiquid. Like as soon as the attention goes from a collection, you start getting less like of the WETH offers. Like it becomes definitely more challenging to be able to sell. You're much more reliant on the project than you are like kind of anything else on most of these kind of PFP projects. Whereas like with a meme coin, it's the power of the community kind of coming together as well, and sharing their bags on the timeline and just making it fun. And there's no promises, so it is what it is. So yeah, if it's financial and yeah, looking for those gains, it's not the one on NFTs.
Well, there's no trading opportunities, are there? There's no attention there and no liquidity there. There's no trading, therefore people aren't making money, therefore people aren't talking about it, therefore, anything else seems more popular. But we've got a hand up. New Jedi, over to you. Good morning.
GM.
First time caller, long time listener.
We haven't had that for a while. Let's go. The catchphrase.
Yeah. It's funny actually because there's a couple of points I want to make. The first one is in 2021. There was a moment where it was like a kind of like a perfect storm of enough liquidity in Ethereum, people being really bullish, lots of speculation, and out of nowhere, cartoon JPEGs became the thing in everyone's wallet they all wanted.
Yeah.
And there wasn't like a period, there wasn't like an announcement which then led to that. It was a combination of factors which then determined like the interest. I think for any kind of level of like NFT stimulation or liquidity stimulation for NFTs, it probably will come from the influence of what the IP is, because the thing that NFTs all have in common is they were all either like memes or original pieces of work that relied on the speculation and a bullish community.
Yeah.
But there wasn't really the strength of any legitimate licenses. Would you both agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, back then it was just it was just whatever got thrown up. Like it's crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think in that direction, like significant licenses that show the show commitment to the space, that are like, yes, this is a authentic XXX, I don't know, Disney piece, for instance. You may have a bit more of a bullish attitude towards that, because there's been if you recall, 2021 was like there was a Mexican standoff of if it was just anybody that was creating art, it was 3 or 4 friends and a toolkit to then get it and mint it, and then fucking whatever happened.
Yeah.
So like I would say there's still room for that to occur again. I don't know when. And the other thing, and something which was really interesting that's come up on my LinkedIn timeline. Are you guys familiar with Stake, the betting platform?
Yeah.
So what's really fascinating is Stake have put some statistics down, and they've actually done this from their own co-founders. So this is something anybody can go and check out. And yes, I'll pin the information somewhere. All right.
Thank you very much. Oh mate, nightmare last week with this Franklin. Go on, he's figured out to pin.
So Stake said they process 6% of all of their monthly payments globally are Bitcoin.
Boom.
And actually, when you look at something in the region of sort of 350 million wages, like they've got a regular user base of 600,000 users and 6 million registered accounts. What's really fascinating to me, though, this is something that we wouldn't normally get in a space where people say, hey, where's some of that other liquidity being spent from crypto?
Yeah.
And I mean, Christ, you want to, here is a real life use case. Boom. Stake, one of the co-founders made a shit ton of money off Bitcoin too. Hence why they're very, very Bitcoin friendly. And they got Drake.
Yeah, Drake.
And
No,
they got
it's
Drake.
true though. It's massive. He does all of his big bets, like $1 million on all of the big boxing, all over social media as well. So they definitely they're definitely killing it with that.
So the influence of like raising the profile of significant platforms willing to take cryptocurrency slowly starting to turn the screw. WorldPay, one of the largest global processors of payments, they're recruiting for a Web3 and crypto person. Like, there are these very small breadcrumbs which you slowly start to see. And if you all remember, it wasn't long ago when Visa changed their PFP to a CryptoPunk.
Yeah. Oh man, these wild times.
But like, there's still so there's a sentiment there. And there's still a bullish sentiment. But it's just not as mad as it was, which I quite like. I like the level of stability, and I like the level of a bit more confidence coming from confident people. Because if you're like, Bitcoin's only got one place that you can use it, and it's on a betting platform, all right, but at least you can use it, and at least it's a platform that's taking other fiat payments as well, so it's not going to die one day if crypto dies.
I like the thesis, but I also live in hope that there's another 10,000 decks there on the cards.
Mate, I'm sure there will be, Franklin. And can I just say, never before has there been a more Jedi month than May.
May the 4th be with you.
Yeah.
3 more days.
Yeah, there's a few. I've got a few in the bag.
Unfortunately, so, we can't celebrate that special day with you because it's a Saturday. We're not live on Saturdays.
What I would say is I've got some, and Dizzy as well was confirmed. We got some cracking scammers of the week already. We've already got some scammer of the week.
All right.
We've got scumbag of the week.
Yeah, so based on Franklin
on,
missed the show last week. So Franklin missed the show last week on Friday. We were doing FUD the news, but these guys couldn't pin, and it was actually a bit of a shit show. And it was really difficult for me to pick because there was so much news that was just like so mid, but it was actually a really interesting topic as well. Anyway, so New Jedi found a news story which actually won, which was a guy who was
do you want me
scamming.
to repeat it?
No. I want to very quickly go over this because we've got a whole show and we've got Zero's hand up as well. So I want to just skim through it. He was scamming loads of people, and then Dave made a claim that there's loads of scammers everywhere. And so basically, we're going to find who scammed the most. Whoever scammed the most amount of money in the week is going to be in contention for a winner as well. So we're adding that on Friday.
Bloody hell! All right, should we get Zach XBT on as a guest then? Yeah.
Match is coming. He's already confirmed.
Boba Rugger.
My favourite thing about that guy was just the top headline piece. Creates a crypto coin for Muslims called halal.ai just to rip them off. Franklin, the times to be alive, mate. Incredible.
Yeah, I'm mad. People in this space will do anything.
Yeah, definitely. We've got Zero's hand up. Good morning, buddy. How are you? Welcome to the stage.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, long time no see. I mean, I woke up today and I'm supposed to work, and then I see notification Bitcoin at 56K. I said, "Oh my day!" I mean, I was
supposed to work, but I got shocked.
No, I mean, like, look, I remember, I think like 3 weeks ago, I pinned you a post, guys. I made it on 2nd of January, whereas I was saying, and I will pin it again. Well, I was saying, like, the next leg up will take us to 75K and a correction to 44K. And then after the Bitcoin ETF happened, I was saying, okay, maybe we're not going lower to 52K, and I was saying, yeah, maybe 52K will be the bottom of the next correction, and we're fucking approaching it right now. And everyone is asking me a question. He's like telling me, "Are you coming from the future?" I literally like predicted that even before Bitcoin ETF, when Bitcoin was like 40K. I was like saying 75K will be the top of the next leg up, and a bottom of 42K. So everything is happening as planned right now. I'm glad I did not ape and I followed my plan when there was like the dip. I think before the halving, when everyone was saying like buy the dip, and I was like saying, yeah, probably there's gonna be another dip, and people won't expect that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad now I can buy. So yeah, this is what I'm doing right now. And I was like coming to to your space. As I said, guys, I will probably start to come back now to the space since I moved in, and yeah, I have my setup now and everything is good. So yeah.
Oh. Did
Nice.
you yeah, Zero, I just wanted to get your take on the conversation we're having about NFTs as well, and how the floor price has dropped, the ETH price has dropped. People are selling at these prices. Let's say even with Azuki, the number of listed, and people sort of exiting NFTs to sort of get liquid to be in the market. What did you think about that?
Yeah, I mean I think it's like it's everything. When the market dips, the first thing that will dip so hard is NFTs, because people want to sell their NFTs to buy the market, and this is what's happening. But there are as well some other people would be like buying the NFTs instead, because the NFTs will take a huge hit when a market dips. And the thing is, it's a liquid market, so people will be listing, and then the other one would be listing lower than that, and the things like can go very low. So and you need to find a buyer as well. So yeah, this is why you remember last week, literally, like we've been talking about SPL 404 and ERC 404.
Yeah.
This is literally for this. People could like switch it can switch to a token that will be changeable on Uniswap if you are like on ETH. It could be swappable on Jupiter if you are like on Solana. So yeah, I mean, yeah, we've been talking about it last week, and this is the biggest problem of ERC 721 is like you need to find a buyer, and that buyer sometimes may not exist.
Just a question on that. It might sound like a silly question, sorry, Franklin. Just on the 404s, if someone converts their NFT into a token through 404, what happens to the floor price? If everyone did that in one go, then the floor price would drop, right? Because people are leaving the fungible to the non-fungible to go to the fungible.
No, it wouldn't really affect it too much. The supply would go down in when it was going over to the token. But yeah, the floor would just be whatever people are deciding to list at. But if they're going to be like more liquid in a token, and they swap onto the token instead of trying to sell the floor of the NFT, then the floor is technically most likely going to be going up, dependent on more match to how many tokens you get per NFT and the price of that token effectively. So it's going to match kind of the token price more, but you're going to be liquid with it because the token's going to have a liquidity pool.
Yeah, that makes
sense.
So
that's the difference.
Okay, cool. And then obviously,
yeah.
Say that again, sorry.
I was saying, guys, it's not going to dump as much as an NFT, especially that maybe people as well will be buying the token instead of the art. So it's literally, like I said, maybe not even dip at all, right? So it's like, just like he said, it's going to be more circulating tokens than the art on itself, but it's the same thing.
Yeah, I see it more like the like kind of if one NFT is like 10,000 tokens and the token was $1, then the NFT floor price would probably reflect that, similar to that. And then if the token went down to like 50 cents, most likely that would like happen with the NFT as well. I don't know whether there's going to be too much of a discrepancy between the two in terms of like people valuing one more than the other, because you can always swap to and from. The only thing that I question about 404 is if you pick one up that you actually like, you're not getting it back, right? I don't know if you know, Zero, but basically, like, I think it gets reshuffled and then you can get a completely different NFT depending on the rarity level. So if you get one you like and you want to actually, hold the token for a little bit, you're losing that NFT.
Oh yeah, you look like that specific art, but there's no rarity in SPL 404 or ERC 404. All of them are
There's just
equal.
levels, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe there's an art that better than the other art, obviously, or like it has more threads or whatever. But yeah, in terms of price, all of them are the same. So yeah, if you get a good one, you could like sell it OTC or something like that. So it's up to you, like if you want like to add some USDC. But I was like about to add that the ERC 404, the token, it dumps only if the guy switch, for example, his art to that token and that token to USDC or to another crypto. So this is where the price will be dumping. But yeah, if you switch art to token, token to art, nothing happens to the price. Same shit, same token.
Yeah, I love how quickly we've went from runes about to change the world to 404s. It's wild.
Literally.
Nuts.
Who said
Crazy.
runes would change the world?
I think
No one said that.
I think every KOL in the space at one point, man. Literally,
Yeah,
runes was at
everyone,
rune stones
yeah.
were at 5.6k.
Yeah, they've dropped considerably as well. But I wanted to just bring it. Thanks for that, Zero. I wanted to just bring it back on track in terms of keeping it on NFTs, but in terms of news, we had the Azuki episode 1 of Enter the Garden, The Waiting Man. This is what's obviously caused this bump in the price on across the Azuki, the beans, and the elementals in the last 24 hours. Franklin, did you see it? What did you think? Are you bullish? I'm going to be playing it now just so people can see it on the video as well. It is the trailer I'm playing, but yeah, what did you think, Franklin?
Yeah, I mean, I like to see Azuki doing something finally, which is good. Like I've never been or understood like anime, right? I've never been into anime. It's just not my thing. But like when you look into the art and the style, and then seeing like the IP like kind of coming alive in this sort of form, it is really good to see. And they've done a very good job of it.
Yeah, definitely. I'm the same. I've never really been like a massive fan of anime. It's always one thing that I've like wanted to like, and then never really got into it. But
I want to
yeah,
like this, but I don't.
Huh?
It's not like coffee with maple syrup, mate. You're not eventually gonna like it. What are you talking about?
no, like I've never really like taken the effort to actually sit down and watch it or get involved. I mean, Tony, if you can jump up and share some comments on the director and stuff. Obviously, I know he's quite big. Oh, he's already jumping up. But yeah, I'm just having a look at some of the information on the YouTube channel. It's already had 28,000 views, 28,981 views, 2.6k likes. And then
So
obviously it's
so 29,000 views. That's all of their holders sending it to one friend trying to get them in. So basically 2 views per person of their holders right now.
oh shit, that's so bleak when you put it like that. Only 15, only think it's actually one of the questions I was gonna ask, and I'll arrive to it very quickly. But yeah, just having a look at the director, the character of design, and voice actors. Apparently, they're quite famous. I should have done a little bit more research. Looking at the comments, this is in line with exactly what you're saying, Franklin. It's literally just their holders. I was here for episode 1. The beginning of a new era. So I'm going to go to Tony just for his comments on any of the creative side of it. But the question I wanted to pose to yourself, Franklin, and Zero, anyone who's on stage is this just going to stay within the crypto echo chamber? Like, what is it going to take for them to really reach out? Because if this was another anime project that was common or familiar or that was popular, you'd be seeing 4 or 5 times more views on that video. So is it going to be a challenge for them to break out of the crypto echo chamber? What do you think?
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think the best way to do anything like this in terms of getting IP out there with animated series or even just like short episodes and stuff is to like kind of build very small. Excuse me, my throat today is killing. I've got no drink next to me, but yeah, it's kind of build pretty small and test the waters as to what people like, and then start building them out from there. I think the full animated series is so costly as well. But one thing that I think should be being done a lot more, and again, it's super difficult, but I think to break out of the echo chamber of what we're actually like in here in crypto, like I think partnerships is the biggest way to do it, and teaming up with other studios to first put IP into those episodes of whatever they've already done, if that makes sense, like from whoever you're partnering with, because otherwise you do kind of sit in this echo chamber, and it is kind of like super difficult to break out of. And obviously with the stigma of NFTs and things, like is this short series like targeting anyone in specific? Is it marketing to anyone? Like, because I don't know, I'm not like a fan of Azuki, but I'm not a fan of like anime, sorry, but is there an angle in this that's like actually like relevant? Like, yeah, Tony probably know, but I'm just kind of thinking, is it marketing or is it just producing a video for the sake of producing a video to go, oh, here's your IP as an episode? Like, do you get what I'm trying to say?
100%. It's exactly the question I was trying to unravel here. We've got a couple of hands up. We've been saying Tony. He hasn't actually come up. Tony, share some. Yeah, we got you. Share some information. Let us know what you're thinking.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot I could say, but I'll start with just kind of answering the question that you posed. In its current form, this is absolutely an echo chamber thing. It will not escape our little bubble. Look, it is very well produced. There is good talent there. This is one of maybe the best Web3 animation that is beyond the trailer that I have seen. The voice work is good, but the content is so shallow at this point that your normal anime fan has nothing to talk about when they see the first episode.
Right.
This is
That's what I was trying to
thing.
get to. Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, when I can throw out a bunch of anime, you like Attack on Titan. Why is episode 1 so good? Why is Hajime no Ippo so good? Why is Dragon Ball Z so good? Like, there's so much that I can say,
Yeah.
but there's nothing that I can say about the Azuki anime at this point, other than the production quality is there. It's on point. They've got good names. But ask me again when all 4 episodes are out. You know, I want to see where this all plays out, how it goes, and what is the story, what is the world that they're building, and whether that is actually attractive to somebody outside of Web3.
Yeah, I think that's it as well. Like, I think with all of these others with huge IP, like the first episodes and stuff, they've had that idea for like quite some time. I think maybe because the echo chamber is so echoey in terms of like crypto, it might be that they've thought, you know, we need to introduce things a little bit slower, and it's going to take 4 episodes to do so to get people watching like Pav, and hopefully by the end of it he likes anime. Yeah,
I'm on board.
Yeah. But yeah, I got the same. It kind of didn't really go anywhere for me. It was just kind of like a slow episode. I skipped through a little few bits and stuff, but I am going to watch it fully later because I would like to kind of get to know what's going on for the next episodes. But yeah, let's see what the next ones happen.
Yeah, and I do want to see I do want to see where this all goes. It's just that, like, from a content perspective, from an anime fan perspective, like, there's really not much I can say about it. Like, okay, a girl shows up and it gets taken to the gate, and okay, so like, who is this person? Like, what is like? There's really not any concrete commentary that I can give on what they've shown so far.
No, I feel like it is that kind of like, let's make an anime series, and then like let's put in everything they own and see, and then that's gonna be cool. Like, I feel like when they threw like the frog through there, we're just watching it on the video now. It was like, oh yeah, that's like an elemental, and then there's kind of like it kind of, then the skateboard comes in, and it kind of just like, for me, it's just sort of showing all of their IP and kind of a thing to just like kind of get holders excited of like, oh, that's the skateboard I've got. And but like, yeah, it doesn't feel like it's built up a story yet that's going to be told. Like, we don't know what each individual character is really yet and what's going to happen. So I guess we got to wait for the other 3.
Yeah, we got a couple of hands up.
I don't want to sound like I'm bad mouthing it. It's just, I think that we need to wait to see like where this all goes, because right now it's like, the Azuki people are like, yay, but like my bigger picture is like, my perspective is like, okay, but does this grow like Azuki outside of this little bubble? So anyway, let's hear what the other guys have to say.
Yeah, kind of be it standalone. If the Azuki NFTs weren't a thing, could this anime be a series on its own? Like, that's what that's what level they got to get to, I think.
Yeah, we've got a couple of hands up. I think it was Zero and then New Jedi. So over to you guys.
Yeah, no expert take, but honestly, So I watch anime or read manga, but not. I mean, like only One Piece, Naruto, and Dragon Ball Z. That's the only three that I watch. So I'm not an expert, but the truth is, usually the first episode should be the best, or at least when you finish the first episode, the only thing that you want to do is watch the second one, or you wait for the second one. So I didn't watch the first one, and probably not gonna watch the first one. So, but like based on Tony's take, is that
You're not even gonna watch it.
Say that one more time.
You're not even gonna watch it. You don't even want to watch the episode.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'll watch it. I don't know where to find it as well. So I don't follow Azuki so that much. But I mean, going back to your question, Franklin, I think Franklin asked like, how can they take their brand like out of Web3? And Tony said that it will probably stay in Web3. Probably if it stays only in Web3, it's going to be a flop. I'm sorry, but it has to be a flop. You're creating an anime, and probably maybe I don't know if they've created the manga or something, but it's only 4 episodes, so there's nothing to write about it. But if they wanted to take it outside of Web3, I don't know if they partnered with, I think their name is Crunchyroll or whatever the platform that has like plus 1,000 animes, or maybe on Netflix or whatever. But if they take it that far, yeah, they will probably reach more people. But I don't know where you can find the episodes, maybe on their website or on YouTube or whatever. But I don't know if they have partnered with like big platforms like that or Amazon, but they should if they want to reach people outside of Web3. So
Yeah.
It's on YouTube. I mean, in terms of big names, they did partner with the largest marketing company in Japan. They're basically a monopoly over there. They have, you know, well-known people. It's just that, yeah, when it comes to the distribution side, they went with the YouTube side, and they do have a big YouTube channel. So, you know, great for them. But again, it's just like what they put out. It's not something that would spread outside of the bubble, right?
Yeah. It feels like that, especially with the YouTube channel being the way of the like kind of outreach and where it's going. It just yeah. I can't see it breaking out. I just can't. But I want to see it do it. But I don't know. I'm going around in circles in my own head here. Like it would be great for it to actually become a thing on its own, regardless of the NFTs and obviously Azuki's collections. It just doesn't feel like there's that excitement and buzz around it aside from the holders. Like I think, yeah, they're gonna have to call on that marketing company. I think definitely.
Yeah, definitely. We've got New Jedi with his hand up as well. Over to you, buddy.
Hey, I'm
Hey.
I'm not an expert on this. Tony is. Cheers, Tone. You can be an expert. I'm gonna give my opinion. Let's go back to December, and it's 2005, and YouTube hadn't come out yet. There was anime content that actually the UK was buying amongst the US and other countries that were buying that content, and they were putting onto conventional channels. You remember when there was a limited number of channels, and if anybody can remember, the typical anime that everybody was first introduced to probably was either Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon Ball Z, give or take. Those were the 3 at that point, the dominant players. Why did it spread? Why did it get popular? A, because there wasn't a great deal of choice. So, so quite simply, a cartoon character everyone's passionate about, yay. B, because there's gamification. Oh, I can go and buy cards IRL, and then I can trade and I can play with other people, and I can have an experience with this IP. And you built, and what effectively was built then was a culture that really embraced at that point a particular type of anime. Now, I couldn't give 2 hoots about the anime content that gets released on Netflix. Couldn't give a shit, because I'm not genuinely that enthusiastic about it. Just like most people, when I speak to them, don't really love gaming, which I appreciate. Like, no, because I get it. Like, and also knowledge. My knowledge just isn't there. But when somebody says, I'm going to come and do something, I'm going to do it in Web3, you're wasting your fucking time. Like, don't do that. If you're going to go and do something, yes, partner Crunchyroll, yes, partner with other broadcasters, yes, take your content, yes, put it onto YouTube, Twitch, Kick, get it reviewed, get it memed, get it reeled, like turn it into short form content, user generated content, and push it out, and leverage KOLs and influencers to do that, and don't rely on Web3 is a subculture. Oh, sorry, it's a main culture, but within that, there's pockets of subcultures that exist. Effectively, we're an audio Reddit, and that's too small for being able to get to a mainstream audience.
Yeah.
So in short, I think it's wonderful that people want to create new IP, because that's what's interesting is choice. I think it's a waste of time doing it for Web3, because it's a fool's errand. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with you on most part. Like, I think one of the biggest questions is, what are you using the technology for? And is it, if it's just, you know, I think what Web3 attracts is if you can market your collection, like your PFP collection and the IP, well in the space, you got an immediate influx of liquidity to build out like what your master plan is. And I think that is good on one side, but it just takes
it's too fickle, mate.
Yeah, you don't build up the actual, especially with an anime. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Like, everyone's there for the financial. They're not really like Azuki. I imagine, I don't know, this is me just talking, but I imagine a large percentage of Azuki holders don't watch anime or are even interested in watching anime. But they like the art and they like the community and they bought it and then they want the price to go up. So I think there's that.
Familiar with the word lore, Franklin? Have you been exposed to that at all?
Lore, as in story.
Yeah, yeah, spot on.
Yeah.
So, and for
I love that. Is it because I'm Northern? It's like, do these Northerners know words?
Because everybody I speak to has different, like, varying degrees of experience of stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know things. Like, I don't mind saying that. I like to learn stuff. Tony teaches me a lot of stuff without telling me it. And like the lore, to be able to build lore, I don't know if you're aware of this, but there's actually companies that are hiring lore experts, like backstory creating experts, because they see the value in building out almost like a world before the world existed, because you really want to get everybody bought into the protagonists.
Yeah.
That's it, isn't it? It's the backstory, it's the history, it's the elements that surround it.
And that's like, again, like what you're saying there, that's why like Star Wars managed to go backwards and forwards and stuff, right? Because they had like all the premise and stuff built out between them. Yeah, like all these movies where they're putting Easter eggs in there that is linked to something that might never see the movie. Like, there's all of that. And I feel like if that's not built in, and the only reason you've got this trait in the collection is because, your artist decided it looked cool, but there's no like lore and story behind certain things, it gets completely lost.
So like Arcane is another example. Arcane was a show that was created by Riot Games, gaming publisher, made League of Legends, put it onto Netflix, got a cult following. But there's something really interesting about this point. Imagine Dragons, Billie Eilish, House of Glass, various other artists. They've all done the same thing. They've all released music specifically into shows. Now, my 10-year-old daughter is a fan of Imagine Dragons, and she doesn't know who the band is. It's because she's so engaged by the show, and because the music's associated to the show, you create this subconscious fan base, which is exactly how guerrilla marketing should work.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think
interesting time to be alive.
It is. It very much is. When TikTok's here and everyone's got a 3-second attention span and you have to do everything within 3 to 5 seconds. Otherwise, no one gives a shit about anything that you're doing. Yeah, attention is absolutely crazy. Which is why, should they not just clip this whole like 5-minute video up into just like hundreds of 3-second clips?
Well, the workforce that will be in 10 years.
1.5 second clip. 3 seconds is too long.
But if you consider like the level of attention a workforce is going to have in the next 5 to 10 years, it more is going to be so limited. Will there be a shit ton of errors happening because people just don't have the time or attention?
Everything's going to be AI, mate. Everything's going to be AI, and we're just going to sit and, I don't know, watch Azuki anime. Don't know where I was going there.
Sad existence. But I like how you brought it back to the the topic. Azuki series mid. That shit's mid.
Yeah, I think it is as well. Like the thing is though, I do and I don't. I think on one side, I think it's great to see that they're actually putting something out. And they've went to this level, like from NFTs, although we've just had that conversation. I do like the fact that they are starting to actually make something out of the IP, whether they've got kind of anything else that's going to come out in the future and then actually build on this whole lore and the story in the back of everything else, become a success outside the NFTs. So I think it's great on one side. There's not been a successful animated series come out yet. It's been spoken about since 2020, 2021, over and over again on every roadmap, and no one has actually went and done it yet. So I think that's a good thing. I think people overestimate how quickly they can get it done and underestimate how much work there is in this type of stuff. So yeah, for me, I think it's good, but yet to be seen whether it's going to make an impact in a dent outside of kind of, the echo chamber that we're currently in at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. We did have a couple of other headlines just before we head into the last 10 minutes. Did you want to let's have a quick look at the Moonbirds? Talk me through what's happening over there.
Yeah, let me pull it up real quick, see if you can get it up as well. But Moonbirds again had a bit of a pump yesterday. They basically came out with some news. So today we're announcing that we're building the Moonbirds universe, and it starts with you. So this is from the Moonbirds official page. I'll pin it to the top as well, so you can be able to check that out. But basically, you're going to need a character that you own, and that's obviously your Moonbird. Starting today, Moonbirds will join Mythics as a collection with commercial rights. If you've made stuff during the CC0 era, cool, but from now on, you'll need to own a Moonbird to keep doing so. So, yeah, basically, they're bringing in commercial rights, one, for Moonbirds after they've been CC0 for a very, very long time. Basically saying if you've created CC0 stuff with a Moonbird that you don't own, you can't do that anymore. So you can't just go and use a Moonbird for any other purposes unless that you own it, which I think has been a topic of discussion for Moonbirds for a very, very, very long time. Some people agreed with it, some people loved it, some people didn't. But I think if you want to build a brand and things actually around your NFTs, you got to have some commercial rights there and protect the person that actually owns it. Makes no sense otherwise. What is the point? They've went on to say they've got some creative development. They're also working on Moonbirds to be more than just a pixel JPEG. As we transform the brand, we'll be introducing a new art direction and 3D avatars built for animation, other side, and beyond. So basically, they're 3D rendering out all of these Moonbirds as well to be able to work in multiple different metaverses as well as the other side. I think this is like crazy bullish. There's like a lot more to the thread. I have actually pinned it to the top of the space. But yeah, considering where Moonbirds were from CC0 and the highs that they used to be to zero, pretty much zero, quite a lot of FUD around Kevin Rose to now get took over by Yuga in not a too long space of time. Something like this is coming out with an art direction and incentive. I think it's really good.
Definitely, they've got the Moonbird universe doesn't stop at the screen. IRL and physicals will bring the brand to life. Look out for dedicated events to bring Moonbirds together, including a satellite event next to 8 Fest in Lisbon in October. They're working with partnerships for physical collectibles. Yeah, I agree, man. 100% bullish. It's almost like they didn't have the greatest reputation, then they got bought by Yuga, and then it's always about like, what do you then do as a result of this opportunity? And they could have fumbled it, but I think they've really taken the ball by the horns and really thought, how can we really start building this out? How can we really start adding value? And with the universe, with the collectibles, with the presence. I mean, yeah, I think definitely bullish. 3.2K on their announcement space that they had. People definitely want to know what's happening. They definitely want to know and see more from Moonbirds. It's like this collective thing where everyone wants, I don't know, does everyone want it to do well? But I think when you see news like this, you can't help but think, you definitely want to see some of this come into fruition. And actually, it adds so much value to the space. When you see, like, we basically spent the best part of 20 minutes saying that Azuki episode 1 was a bit mid, right? Like, we've argued for and against, but when you see that and you see other projects that are doing things like this, it raises the bar generally, right? Like it raises the bar on what's expected from projects and founders to release, because it might be a little bit mid, but like Tony said, they've actually got episode 1 out. So many people have had trailers, so many people have had like 6-minute, 6-second clips, but to actually have something out and like all of that infrastructure behind it, it is only episode 1 and it is only 4 episodes, but like
And it
it's
did
the
take them
beginning.
4 years.
And it did take them 4 years, but it's a step in the right direction and it raises the bar for everyone else. So I think news like this I'm bullish on, because it's great for the project, it's great for the space, and it raises the bar, which I think constantly needs to happen so that we can then have higher expectations from the projects and then they can actually deliver them.
Yeah, I just with Moonbirds though, I'm just questioning like how many projects are gonna release game style environments in a cuddly toy? When does that change? Like, I don't know. Are we just kind of like, are we seeing the same things just getting repeated now? Like we're gonna take it from pixel to 3D and then give you the art, then we're gonna make it a cuddly toy, so then it's physical, and then you be able to play with it somewhere. I don't know. Are we seeing the repeat patterns that like? I love to see it. I think for Moonbirds, it's IP that I liked from the very get go. They were everywhere. I'm not a huge fan of pixel art, but I'll be honest, Moonbirds were one of the ones that were really good. I don't know. I'm just struggling with. I'm struggling with my own brain to like kind of picture how this goes forward. To be honest.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, we'll see. Well, let's see how it unravels. This was only the announcement was only when was it? April 29th.
It's
So it's
just the
only
difference I'm struggling with. The difference, I think it is. Like, is it different enough? Like, what's the innovation here? Like, what's going to be making it different from getting anything else in the kind of Yuga ecosystem and running around the other side? Is there any difference, or is it just you can be a bird now?
I mean, it's an interesting question because Yuga would have acquired them for a reason, right? That all of these things that are happening now aren't sort of something they've just pivoted to in the last like 24 hours and thought, fuck it, let's try it. They would have had a plan, they would have had a roadmap, they would have submitted that, and they would have discussed that with Yuga. It would have been in line with Yuga's vision as well. Obviously, they're not going to acquire something that isn't aligned with their vision. So I'm actually not surprised. Some of the art looks similar as well. If you have a look at the 5th out of the 8th tweet, from the other side, I just feel like it is very similar. It isn't very innovative, but then I'm also not surprised because this is something that would have been in the works for months, and it's aligned with a vision.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I agree. I'm just wondering, like, not even just with Yuga though. My point is like kind of further afield
Yeah.
as well. Like, is it, are we is all NFTs are gonna be a physical toy, run around the metaverse, and that's where it stops? Like, that's what I'm wondering.
I think the answer to that question is how quickly can projects iterate? How quickly can they innovate and iterate? Because, like you're saying, that toys and series was all like from the last ball run, really. And if they'd have had
Yeah.
that in their pipeline and that was their plan and their vision to do that, then great. Okay, cool. It's that like, okay, now we've realized that is very mid, and that is not actually what people actually want with 28,000 views over the release of the video. Maybe they actually want more, and it's then looking at, right, well, what can we do to change that, what can we do to iterate that, and then that's where the innovation is going to come up. Because otherwise the only other thing is like, oh, events. It's like, can you see the only thing that's changed between now and last time was it was like, oh, we're going to have toys and we're going to have series, and then now it's like, oh, well, now we're actually going to have presence at events as well. It feels like it's just moving slowly.
Yeah, but also very quick at the same time. I would say like events have definitely got better. Like looking at Dubai and stuff and how it used to be, my word, it's definitely got better. Um, but yeah, it feels like because we're in it every day and a lot of people are in it every day, I think it feels like it's moving slowly, but it's really not. I think, yeah, the time it's taken to turn some of that around, like, cause the Moonbird announcement was only like 2 months ago, was it? So to get it to the stage where they're releasing, these kind of teasers and stuff is pretty good. Are you gonna buy a Moonbird now?
No,
Yeah, no, same.
no. As
Same.
in, yeah, innovative, cool, nice announcements, exciting, good for the project, good for the holders. But no, it's not. It would need to be that innovative. It would need to be that new and exciting for us to even consider it, right?
Yeah. What you buying instead? Dog with hat still?
Yeah, literally. Actually, to be fair, nothing at the moment. I packed my bags. I packed my ETH NFT bags. I packed my Soul bags. I packed everything. Now I'll just be looking for a couple of entries on like TIA, INJ, just some of the really like smaller cap coins. That I feel like I didn't get an opportunity to. I feel like this is going to be one of the last times where you can get entries that that are palatable and that you actually feel comfortable with. So I reckon I'll do that for a little bit. But other than that, it was actually something that OSF had said, like, you never feel like you've packed your bags enough. And he's obviously packed his bags massively. Like, there's always going to be a stage where you're like, oh, I could have a little bit more. So I think I'm settled. I'm comfortable right now. And it's actually good. It's like knowing you're comfortable with what you have, then you can look at these things on the sideline and not think, oh shit, I want to get involved, or not have that FOMO because you're comfortable with what you got.
Yeah, absolutely. I do got a rug mix. I've got him flat
Yeah,
out
same.
at 10.
Yeah, we had a couple of other headlines with Rollbit and the Binance CZ, but we'll cover those tomorrow morning. Let's wrap it up, Frank, and I'll do the outro, and then let's rug.
All right, come. Yeah, let's run it.
All right, guys, have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you for tuning in. We are Minted Mornings. We're here every morning from 9 a.m. BST, bringing you the news, headlines, topics, and conversations in Web3. Drop us a follow in the top left, turn the notifications on, and we will see you guys tomorrow morning. Have an amazing day. Take care.